You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, two women from Oklahoma come together to raise money for 4-year-old Athena Brownfield's sister.
And it's not just your local towns that see car chases. Our TV station does too. We'll have how a high-speed chase from officers from Cherokee County ends up with 2 arrested and a damaged fence.
And we've got a beautiful sunrise on our camera at 7th and Range Line. We can see that sunrise on the camera at 32nd and Range Line too. However, it's not going to be that warm today. We'll tell you about today's temperatures and the weekend coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Buck. A high-speed chase in Cherokee County, Kansas, late Wednesday afternoon ends with a couple of people in custody. Part of that chase is caught on our cameras. Surveillance cameras here at the TV station along Highway 69 showed a pickup driving west on Lawton Road, then leaving the road and cutting through the grass. A couple of law officers' vehicles were close behind. The truck circled behind the TV station and then took out a fence close to our broadcast tower before getting back on the highway. Now, law officers caught up with the truck on a road a couple of miles away, and the sheriff tells us 2 people were taken into custody. No word yet on the reason for that chase. A former Carl Junction police officer previously convicted on child pornography charges is now wanted for child sex crimes. Barton County Court issued an arrest warrant for Seth Wilkins on charges of child molestation and sexual abuse. Court documents show Wilkins is accused of inappropriately touching a victim under the age of 12. Now, Wilkins must register as a sex offender after a 2013 conviction. An internal Carl Junction PD investigation found evidence of the child pornographic material on Wilkins' computer. Execution dates for people on death row in Oklahoma are pushed back. The Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals agreed to delay the execution dates after the state's attorney general called the previous schedule unsustainable. The State Department of Corrections was scheduled to execute 1 condemned inmate every month for the rest of the year. Now, under the new plan, there would be at least 2 months gaps between each execution. And so far, 7 execution dates have been rescheduled. The court plans to deal with the remaining execution dates at some point in the future. 2 women from Oklahoma are coming together to raise money for their older sister, Athena Brownfield, the 4-year-old girl who was allegedly murdered on Christmas Day. Amanda Weidman and Kelly Jensen have organized an online raffle scheduled for January 30th, with all the funds from the fundraiser going into Athena's sister's account. Weidman says the goal is to raise $5,000. Her hope is that a big corporation will help match that goal. The raffle ends February 10th. Joplin Schools announced a new director for its Franklin Technology Center. The district hired Casey Dorton to fill the role. Dorton started with the school district in 2006. She's worked in both teaching and administration roles, including at Franklin Tech. Now, Franklin Tech offers students the ability to learn technical skills to help them enter the workforce or continue on to college after high school. And on Wednesday, Kansas Governor Kelly's administration announced funding from the state to create a family resource center in Southeast Kansas called Kansas Family Advisory Network Southeast. Is receiving more than $208,000 money from the State Department for Children and Families. It's part of an ongoing effort to decrease the need for families to have contact with the agency.
We've got a lovely sunrise from our camera at 7th and Range Line. You can see pretty clear skies out there. As we take a look at the MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line, same beautiful sunrise out there and some pretty clear roads. Still some snow left behind, but most of that is going to be clearing out. We're sitting at 21 in Joplin right now. Feels like 11, and that's with a west breeze at 8, and that wind is going to pick up a little bit later today. 21 in Iola, 19 Fort Scott, 21 Miami and Neosho, and 20 in Carthage as we start the day. We're heading for a high of 35, so that is below average, and those winds could start gusting to about 20 miles an hour. Otherwise, more sunshine today. It will be partly cloudy. Then tonight, we hit an early low of 28 under mostly clear skies. The winds calm down, and temperatures begin to go up as we head towards sunrise, and that's in anticipation of this. 49 on Friday. The only trade-off is we're going to have wind gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour on Friday. Evening showers Saturday translate into a wintry mix as we drop to 22. 2 heading into Sunday morning. No significant accumulations are expected out of this, but it could lead to slick spots on the roadways, so be careful. 31 Monday, then another wintry mix possibility Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and we're going to, after Friday and Saturday, we will be below average in the 4 states for the next several days.
Well, coming up, Chef Anthony steps back into his test kitchen to continue to show us how to make some delicious sandwiches.
And we'll meet a cat who goes viral for its epic battle with a microwave. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a microwave. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Yeoman 3rd Class Veda Kaufman, a native of Riverton, Kansas, served during World War II as part of the Waves Division. To Yeoman 3rd Class Veda Kaufman, we thank you, today's 4-state hero.
Well, if you sometimes feel like you can't wait to get at whatever you put in the microwave, wait till you meet Bentley the cat.
There was nothing micro about the epic battle waged by Bentley the cat against this microwave. He yanked it. He physically moved it. He would have certainly gotten into it if it weren't for the child lock his owners put on it to keep him out.
His body language while doing it, it doesn't seem like a cat.
He's got this physique, he's got like a great body. Using his legs like arms, he might have pulled the microwave right off the counter if the cord weren't plugged in. No wonder this sometimes cross-eyed cat from Sheridan, Oregon has gone viral with millions of views. Bentley has been obsessed with the microwave ever since Brittany Sheasel left pizza in it.
The microwave is wide open and the pizza is on the floor and gone pretty much.
They also had to put a lock on the kitchen cabinets where Bentley uses all 4 legs. Without the child lock, we clocked him getting into the microwave in 8 seconds flat. Brittany says the appliance is his best friend. Have there been any close calls where you've almost pressed cook?
Oh my goodness. No, surprising amount of people on the video were telling me to close the door.
This story reminds me of one I did 27 years ago about Piggy the bull terrier who got into the fridge so often his owner had to keep it locked.
And then I stick it through the hole.
But when it's cat versus microwave, sometimes the cat moves the appliance and sometimes the appliance moves him. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
There have been times I've had to fight with the microwave to open it, especially on those ones with the pull door. Now, the push button's not so bad, you know, but with the door you have to pull, they get stuck.
Are you talking about the microwaves here in the break room or one at home?
One at home. Not the one we have at home is one of those pull door ones, and there have been times it doesn't want to open.
Well, I mean, your wife does put the child lock on there to keep you out of it.
That's probably what she's done, and I just haven't realized it yet. She's like, no, you've eaten enough today. You don't need anything else. It's a good thing I have her, though, because if I didn't, man, I eat out of boredom, and I get bored so often. I can't imagine what things would be like if I was allowed to eat as often as I feel like. And you may want to eat a little more, get a few more layers, because it's going to be cold for the next several days across the area. Take a look at this sunrise, though, at 7th and Range Line. Looks great. MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line looks great as well. And we're going to see cold conditions, unfortunately. So let's talk about how cold it is and how warm it's not going to get. 21 right now in Joplin, feeling like 11. And that's with a west breeze at 8. Wait till it starts gusting a little later. At least we'll be a pinch warmer by the time the winds start to pick up. 21 Iola, Chetopa, Miami, Neosho, Monette, 20 in Carthage, Nevada, and 19 in Fort Scott. We're heading for a high of 35 today, so that's below average by about 8 degrees or so, but will be partly cloudy. However, we're also going to have winds gusting to 20 miles an hour. Now, the winds will calm down later this evening. We'll hit an early low of 28 before temperatures begin to rise towards sunrise under mostly clear skies. So what we're watching, though, is a system this weekend. So let's just dive right into this thing here. We're up to 49 tomorrow. Right. Unfortunately, because Mother Nature says it can't be that warm without something to go along with it, we're going to have wind gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour tomorrow. We want to thank Mother Nature. Thank you so much for that. We're up to 49 Saturday, and then we have evening showers that As we drop down to 22, we'll transition to a light wintry mix. We're not anticipating significant accumulations out of this, but it could be enough to make some slick spots on the roadways, so do be cautious Saturday night into Sunday morning. We're up to 32 Sunday, well below average. All right, 31 Monday, 39 Tuesday. Chance of a wintry mix Tuesday into Wednesday morning. We go beyond that, another wintry mix possibility by next Thursday and 36, 34 on Friday. It's not until Saturday of next week that we come somewhat close to average again. So after tomorrow and Saturday, we are below average in terms of highs for the next several days, but our lows, with a couple of exceptions, are actually right on track for this time of year. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. Today is Thursday, and we've got Chef Anthony in the studio this morning. The lights are flickering. We're ready for you here.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't expect any
Creepy
less.
there. Yeah. Anyway, we are making sandwiches, which is a great idea for your football spread, you know.
Well, with the Super Bowl coming and we have the championship game this weekend, most people are going to have large gatherings. So why not save a little bit of money? Throw up a really nice sandwich bar for everybody, and then everybody can eat off of it. You can make skillets available. You can buy a sandwich press, and I have a couple here that belong to me.
You can have pre-made ones, or you can let them build their own.
Exactly. I mean, you can do the little pull-aparts we talked about the last hour as something to kind of get people started, something a little bit different. And then you can put out just a regular spread and save yourself some money, be able to buy more stuff for it, and then everybody will get exactly what they want.
Okay, so what kind of sandwich are we going to be
So
making
we're going
right
to make
now?
one of my favorite toaster sandwiches.
Okay.
I use garlic bread.
Okay.
And I put it in my panini press, and I get it so that both sides are just starting to toast.
Okay.
Okay? And then a piece of cheese. I like Swiss cheese on mine. One piece on each side. And then a little bit of ham. And then a little bit of turkey on the other side. And then right in the middle, a couple of nice pieces of salami right in the middle. And then I'm going to close it up.
Any recommendations? I know like the price of like sandwich meat and stuff has gone like skyrocketed among other things as well. But like, is there like things that you can purchase that are better deals than others? Or?
You can buy sliced sandwich meat cheeses like this. I think this package cost me $2. There's 12 slices in it. And they're nice and thin sliced. You can buy your ham in containers like this and your turkey and salami and stuff. Just be careful as to which ones you buy. Don't go overboard. This is a mesquite smoked turkey. This is just honey ham.
Okay.
Okay, you don't need honey ham and black forest ham and all that kind of stuff. Just pick the core ones that you like the most. I mean, if you don't like a roast beef sandwich, then I would probably stay away from that. Or if you're throwing the party and you're putting it out, maybe get 1 versus 2 of the hams. But these containers, I believe right now are selling for like $4. And there's enough in there for 5, 6, 7 sandwiches.
Okay.
So, and then a lot of it also comes to our breads.
We have a battle in our house of like how many like when you have it deli sliced real thin like this, how many slices do you need on one sandwich? Like what makes a sandwich?
There's 4 on this one. So I like my ham a little bit more than
well,
the
wait a
turkey.
minute, you have 2 here and 2 of those, right?
No, I have 4 ham and 2 turkey.
4 ham, 2 turkey, and 2 salami. That's a lot of meat.
I like that because I like that ham. I think that ham adds just a little bit more saltiness, and I like the Swiss cheese because it gives a little bit of salt too.
2 Swiss cheese.
So, and then it's garlic bread, so you have to toast both sides a little bit to get it going. And I use the panini press because it gives the little hatch marks in it and makes it look really good.
So we didn't talk about it, but when you put it in this time, you put the opposite direction.
Yes.
To be the grill marks.
I turned it the opposite direction, and I'm letting the weight of the press just kind of take everything down. And when I open it up, you can kind of see it starting to melt things down a little bit. So
if you don't have a panini press, can you use like a George Foreman grill? Or
you can use
like
a George Foreman grill. You can use a skillet, and then just put another skillet on another pan on top of it with just a little bit. Just kind of hold it on there. You're just looking for the weight, so that it presses the bread together. It toasts really nice, and it comes out kind of crunchy. Because to me, that's part of the texture for a grilled sandwich is that crunch that you get when the bread is just ever so perfectly done.
Yep.
So, and also choose your bread wisely. You can go to various places around town and pick up bread. You don't need to buy the absolute freshest thing right that day. If you shop wise and you know that tomorrow's my party, buy the day-old stuff that's on clearance. Or the, oops, we made too much bread, so they have it all marked down to get rid of it.
That's my favorite, yeah.
and use it up because you're going to put it right out. People are going to make sandwiches out of them. This was originally $3. I got it for $1.
There you go.
And my classes today, this is just a small little tidbit of what my students are doing today. We're talking about sandwiches in class. So I put out a board for them, and they're going to make sandwiches for like 3 hours today.
Talk about layering and...
Yes, and they're going to have to show me and inspire me and create something different so that everybody can kind of enjoy them. So, and we have our vegetables here, and these little rolls, so good. So
when you're working
good.
with those, you just slice them in half and...
I slice them in half, and I butter the outside.
Okay.
Build my sandwich inside of it without my vegetables, and then I'll put it inside of a toaster and press it down. If you get the ones with the grooves, they're technically a panini press. If you get one that doesn't have the grooves, that's called a plancho.
So when you do a roll like this and put it in the press, you don't do it inside out, you just cut it in half and do it like that.
I do it just like that, but I butter the outside of it because it reminds me a little bit of the texture of a Cuban sandwich. And this has a really nice crust on it.
How much longer do you think that has in there?
That probably has a couple more minutes.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to break and see what that looks like when we come back.
All right.
We'll be right back. All right, I hear the sizzling. Our toasted, what are you calling this sandwich?
This is a grilled ham and cheese and turkey sandwich.
Our grilled ham and cheese and turkey sandwich is almost done. And we're
So-
using Swiss cheese on this. I'm excited about it.
I like the Swiss cheese. I think it goes great.
I used to not like it, but in the last like 2 years, I've acquired a taste for Swiss cheese that I really like now.
You have to find a good one. So I really wish that we had like a handheld mic so you could hear this. So.
All I know is it's too hot right now to put in my mouth, so we're gonna have to cool that.
But you can hear the crunch from that bread as I cut through it.
So we've got garlic bread, we've got 4 slices
Of ham.
honey ham, and 2 slices of turkey. What type of turkey did you use on this one?
That's a mesquite smoked turkey.
Mesquite smoked turkey and 2 slices of salami. So if you were to eat half of that, then you would have obviously half that meat. And 2 slices of Swiss cheese.
Because I like the ooey gooiness inside of it. I mean, it's a beautiful looking sandwich. Any way you slice it, and you can tell that it's all nice and crusty. But those of us who are into the nostalgia.
Yes. Okay, so you have this other toaster looking thing
Yes.
here. I never had one like this, but you always you hear from the kids that nobody likes the crust. It wasn't really an issue. We had to eat our crust, but instead of having to cut the crust off, they made a machine for that.
Yeah, well, it was a little more than just a machine. Before Uncrustables became a thing, and they had this little machine right here. This is called the Snackster. They had lots of different names. My mom bought this off of TV when I was like 9 or 10 years old for us. So you open it up, and you see the little wells inside. What you would do is you would take your slice of bread and place it on here, and then you push it down just a little bit and fill the wells with like pizza sauce and pepperoni and cheese and whatever you wanted inside of it.
You still have bread on the bottom though.
And you put the bread on the bottom, and then you put another piece of bread on the top, and then you would turn it on and lock it into place, and it would toast it. So you had, when you would turn around and you would open it up, it would toast close, and the crust would be right on the outside edge of it, so the crust would pull right off of it. And these were fun. We promised my mom that we would use these, and then I grew up, and she was going through a box, and she goes, "Hey, I got something." And I was like, yes! I have so many fun memories of playing with this thing. So, and it's simple little things like this that you get to have a little bit of fun with, but grilled cheese sandwich. You were talking about having grilled cheese and tomato soup. I love a grilled cheese sandwich. You have so much fun with it, and you can put so much stuff on it that it doesn't matter. And you can crust the outside with shredded Parmesan cheese so that you can get a little bit different texture. See, the cheese is still pulley.
Yeah.
And you can I like to put American cheese or provolone, cheddar cheese, and Parmesan cheese on the inside, and then I'll use sourdough bread. Isn't that great?
Delicious.
The garlic toast is just enough, and you toasted both sides, so you got the crunch on the inside, the outside, and everything just kind of comes together the way that it's supposed to be.
It's really good. I still have food in my mouth, so you have to keep talking.
But, I mean, sandwiches are unique. Make whatever you want. And my students, we're doing traditional sandwiches like this, and then next week we're going to make my mom's pizza pie.
Pizza pie next
We're going to
week?
make pizza pie next week because we talk about pizza being a sandwich, and I'm going to teach them my bread dough recipe, and they're going to roll it out. My mom used to take a pie crust or pie pan, and she'd roll out her bread dough, and she'd lay it in the bottom like a pie crust, and then she would fill it up with all of our favorite fixings for pizza, and then she would lay another piece over the top of it and throw it in the oven.
Okay. I've never had a pizza pie, but why
And
not, right?
You had to scoop it out like it was a legitimate slice of pie, like a peach pie or a cherry pie. So
what kind of meats do you put in it?
myself, I just use straight hamburger, and then I make more like a ragu bolognese, which is a really thick sauce. It doesn't have a lot of sauce. It's saucy, but it's not runny sauce. So lots of onions and lots of peppers and jalapenos and serranos and hamburger meat and oh yeah.
Okay, well that sounds delicious. We're making a pizza pie next week in the Chef Anthony Test Kitchen. Make sure you tune in for that. And if you would like to check out all these segments again, and definitely check out the first one where you learn the appropriate stacking method according to the sandwich rules, go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Click on the morning show link. All right, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. I'll see you next
And
week.
thank you for this grilled cheese sandwich.
Happy to do it.
We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. The Missouri Public Service Commission grants Spire's request to provide natural gas service in and around the city of Oronogo, Missouri. Commission also approved Spire's request to acquire the natural gas assets of the city. Residents of the city approved the sale in November of 2021. Oronogo currently provides natural gas service to about 334 customers. There was a battle in Pittsburgh on Wednesday between the police and fire departments, a battle to see who could make the best bowl of chili. It's part of the annual Battle of the Badges blood drive hosted by the Red Cross. People were able to come to the Frisco Event Center, donate blood, try some chili, and vote on their favorite. And some were pretty confident of their recipes.
Well, our chili's got unique ingredients in it, so it tells you a story as you're eating it. You get a good bite, and then from there on, whether you can handle it or not is up to you, but it's a good time. It's a little tricky.
Blood drive and chili cook-off will kick off again today from 8:30 in the morning until 2 p.m. The winning department receives a trophy. Well, California reels from at least 3 mass shootings over 3 days. Vice President Kamala Harris arrived in Monterey Park to pay her respects to the victims of the dance hall shooting. Hours earlier, the suspect in one of the shootings made his first court appearance. Danya Bacchus has the latest.
66-year-old Half Moon Bay shooting suspect Chun-Li Zhao did not speak and tried to hide his face during his arraignment Wednesday afternoon. He's charged with 7 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder along with weapons violations.
The penalty if convicted of all the charges would be life without parole or death.
Zhao did not enter a plea and is being held without bail. 2 attorneys were appointed to represent him. Police say the suspect opened fire on former co-workers at 2 mushroom farms south of San Francisco Monday afternoon.
We do have a feeling on the motive at this point based on what he has told us. I'm not going into that.
The 5 men and 2 women killed ranged in age from 43 to 74. All but one of the victims have been identified. As the memorial for the 11 victims of Saturday's Monterey Park shooting continues to grow, police say because the suspect is dead, we may never know the motive. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna gave an update on the investigation.
In the first picture to my left is the weapon that we believe to be the murder weapon. This is the weapon that was recovered in Alhambra that the suspect used to kill the 11 victims and shoot the other 9. Based on the interviews the investigators are still conducting, they have not been able to establish a connection between the suspect and any of the victims thus far.
We will always, as a compassionate nation, mourn for the loss and pray for those who survive. And we need reasonable gun safety laws in our country.
Vice President Kamala Harris arrived at the scene of the shootings late Wednesday afternoon to honor the victims. Danya Backus, CBS News, Monterey Park, California.
While the charges against the suspect in the Half Moon Bay shootings carry a possible death sentence, Governor Gavin Newsom issued a moratorium on executions prior to this case. Well, this morning we're discussing ways to curb crime.
A recent string of mass shootings has communities searching for answers. According to a new report from the Secret Service, out of 173 mass attacks between 2016 and 2020, about 20% were motivated by extreme or hate-based views.
Another study shows murders specifically are more concentrated in a handful of densely populated urban counties. Data from the Crime Prevention Research Center shows 73% of murders happen in just 5% of counties. Illinois's Cook County, home to Chicago, had the highest number of recorded murders in 2020, followed by Los Angeles County and Harris County in Texas, where Houston is located.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. How should crime like murder be curbed? You've got a number of options. So far, 5% of you say through therapy and rehab, 5% of you say through education. And then the stronger votes here say 25% through stricter laws. 55% of you think all of these options are good options. So make sure you vote through our website, through our app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We've got a pretty cold start for us this morning, but we have a pretty decent sunrise, and we've got clear skies. Looking at the MoDOT camera at 7th and Garden Grove, you can see traffic flowing along nicely. The roads are clear. Still a few slick spots possible, so do be cautious out there this morning as we are at 21, feeling like 11 with a west breeze at 8 miles an hour and a very below average start for us today. 20 Fort Scott, Nevada, 21 Lamar, Pittsburgh, 25 Independence, 21 Miami, Neosho, Monette, and 20 in Carthage as we start our Thursday. Heading for a below average high of 35, partly cloudy skies. Winds later today could be gusting upwards of 20, so it's going to feel very cold. Winds calm down tonight, mostly clear, early low of 28. And then as we head towards sunrise, temperatures will slowly begin to rise, and we're going to be a bit warmer tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're going to be breezier. 49, winds gusting 20 to 30 miles an hour tomorrow. 49 Saturday, evening showers turn into a wintry mix overnight as we drop to 22, and that could last into Sunday morning. No major accumulations, but slick spots possible. 32 Sunday, 16 Sunday night. 31 Monday, another wintry mix possible Tuesday into Wednesday. And as you can see, temperatures aside from tomorrow and Saturday remain below average for the rest of the week and into next week. We're back with more right after this. Winter storms blew through as quickly as they came and left the 4 states under a blanket of snow. Some families in Springfield, Missouri found out that snow made for a fun family day.
Out here with my kids. Beautiful day at Pat Jones YMCA. People are sledding. The snow is really slick and fun. It's melting a little bit, but it's just a great time.
We love the snow. We were very excited to hear we could play in it today. And this has always been a spot to come because, you know, it got hills on all the sides, and we get our friends together and come here.
I think this is the best day of my life so far.
This is the best day. Better than Christmas and your birthday and all
yes.
that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's very fun to play in the snow.
Ready? Set.
How would you rate that one?
I'd give that one a 10. Fall and all.
That certainly looked like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, as you can see on the MoDOT camera at 7th and Garden Grove, majority of that snow is out of here, even though we are still quite cold this morning. 21 in Joplin, feeling like 11 with a west breeze at 8. It's below average for all of us this morning, and unfortunately, it's going to be below average as we head into the afternoon. We'll break down your complete forecast when we come back. All right, live look again at the MoDOT camera at 7th and Garden Grove. Traffic moving along. Roads are pretty clear, and you can see most of that snow's melted off, but there could still be a couple of slick spots out there. Few clouds off to the northwest. We're otherwise clear in Joplin. 21, feeling like 11 with that west breeze at 8. A below average start for us this morning. We've got 20 Fort Scott, Nevada, 21 Lamar, 22 Pittsburgh, 21 Chatopa, Miami, Neosho, Anderson, and Monette, and 20 in Carthage as we start our Thursday. We will not be near average today, but at least we'll see some more sunshine. Unfortunately, that couple couples in with wind gusts pushing 20 miles an hour. We are partly cloudy through the majority of this day with a high of 35. As we head into this evening, the good news is the winds calm down and we hit an early low of 28, and temperatures will rise as we head towards sunrise in anticipation of a warmer but windier Friday. Up to 49 tomorrow, but gusts could push 20 to 30 miles an hour. 49 on Saturday. Evening showers turn into a wintry mix as we drop to 22. Could last into Sunday morning. No major accumulations expected, but could lead to some slick spots on the roadways out there. 32 Sunday, down to 16 Sunday night. Below average highs for the rest of into next week. Wintry mix possible Tuesday into Wednesday. But the good news is, aside from, say, Sunday and Monday night, our overnight lows for the most part are on par for average. So at least it won't be that cold. We've got, that's it for, here's Tanya Bach.
Time for Consumer Watch. The official tax filing season kicked off this week. People filing their returns are already seeing significant changes this year. Amanda Sansone has some do's and don'ts to make your filing experience as smooth as possible.
This tax season, expect surprises that could impact your wallet. Several tax breaks have changed, and the IRS has announced new upgrades.
Every tax year, there's something new for people to deal with.
Money coach Lynette Calfani-Cox has these 5 do's and don'ts to avoid surprises when filing your taxes this year. 1 do, file electronically.
You're going to get a faster refund check if you're owed.
2, this year there's no stimulus money headed your way, and there's been changes to certain tax credits, like the enhanced child tax credit, which was up to $3,600 per child and is now down to a maximum of $2,000.
For a family that had 2 small kids, before they would have got $7,200. Now they're only going to get $4,000.
Which leads to tip 3. Don't expect a fat check from Uncle Sam. Last year, the average refund issued was $3,176. Experts say that's expected to be much lower this year.
The fact that many people aren't going to get that big tax refund check that they had been anticipating is going to hurt a lot of families' budgets.
4. Do get help filing, either from a professional or from the IRS. The IRS expects improved customer service this year. The agency says it's hired more than 5,000 people to take calls and added more in-person staff to support taxpayers. And 5, don't procrastinate and file on time. This year, the official date to file returns by is Tuesday, April 18th.
Well, tax filing and payment deadlines will be extended for anyone living in counties declared federal disaster areas due to recent natural disasters. And that includes storm victims in several counties of California. They now have until May 15th, 2023 to file their returns. We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. A classic James Bond video game is playable once again.
Rick Damigella that is, has that story and more in the Hollywood Minute.
Well, Mr. Bond, I expect you to play. Nintendo and Microsoft have announced GoldenEye 007 is heading back to game consoles. Originally released in 1997 for the Nintendo 64, the game will now be playable on both the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox. The pixelated Pierce Brosnan is back in action Friday.
That dress is growing on me.
Wanted something less traditional.
Josh Duhamel stars opposite Jennifer Lopez in the Prime Video flick Shotgun Wedding. Duhamel says knowing J-Lo for years helped with their performances.
The main thing we talked about right from the get was all we have to worry about is making sure that we are believable in our love for each other in this movie, and then all the hijinks can ensue from there.
Metallica go to the movies. The heavy metal legends and Trafalgar Releasing announced the band's new album, 72 Seasons, will be played in its entirety with music videos for each song during a listening party premiere in participating movie theaters. The one-night-only event takes place April 13th. Headbanging in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Well, GoldenEye 007 will be available to Xbox Game Pass and Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack subscribers.
Shotgun Wedding debuts on Prime Video Friday.
And tickets for Metallica 72 Seasons global premiere will be available beginning in March at metallica.film.
All right. So I was just telling you, I've got the GoldenEye 007 for my Nintendo 64 at home, and I just got it, and I've enjoyed the game very thoroughly.
And it's weird that Jennifer Lopez is making another wedding-themed movie on Amazon Prime, because last night I literally fell asleep watching Marry Me, which is a wedding-themed Amazon Prime video starring Jennifer Lopez.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
Well, something that will keep you awake is if you step outside, because it's cold. This is a live look at the MoDOT camera at 7th and Garden Grove. We're looking good. A lot of that snow is gone. Still a few slick spots possible, especially on rural roads and side streets. Otherwise, as you can see, even at 7th and Rangeline, we're not too bad out there. 21, though, cold. Feels like 11 out there, and that's with a west breeze at 8. Below average start for sure. 20, Fort Scott, Nevada, Parsons, 21, Chatopa, Miami, Nawada, and Anderson, and Neosho, and Monette, and 20 in Carthage as we start our Thursday. We're heading for a below average high. Below average is a theme here, okay? I'm going to tell you more about that. 35, partly cloudy, wind gusts today could push 20 miles an hour. They'll calm down this evening. Early low of 28, so that's average. Then we'll go above average as we head towards sunrise and temperatures rise, and that is because we're going to be above average tomorrow with our high of 49 degrees. We'll have winds gusting 20 to 30 with that, but it'll be warmer. 49 Saturday as well, so again above average. Evening showers down to 22, below average. Translates into a wintry mix into Sunday morning. No major accumulations, but slick spots on the roadways are possible. 32 for the high, below average. 16 for the low, well below average. And that's really a theme. Let me just show you the next several days. We are below average in our highs. We have some wintry precipitation possible Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and then again on Thursday. But on the one plus side, I suppose, our lows are about right on target for this time of year, except for a couple of nights here and there. We're otherwise not too cold overnight. We could be a lot colder, I suppose. It could be a lot worse, too, so might as well take what we've got, right? We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The COVID vaccine may become more like the flu shot, with officials recommending one annual shot to protect against the virus. A committee with the Food and Drug Administration will vote on that proposal today, and if approved, the CDC would need to then sign off as well. The hope is to streamline the multi-shot regimen that may have discouraged some Americans from becoming fully vaccinated. The school board in Virginia, where a 6-year-old allegedly shot his teacher, voted to fire its superintendent. 25-year-old Abby Zwerner is planning to sue the school district. Her lawyer says administrators were warned multiple times that the first grader had a gun in school. The school has been closed since the shooting in early January and is scheduled to reopen next week. Well, body cam footage from the night Maggie and Paul Murdaugh were killed will be shown to a South Carolina jury today. Alex Murdaugh is facing up to life in prison for the murders of his wife and son in June of 2021. During opening statements on Wednesday, his defense attorney has said the 52-year-old is innocent and the state's case lacks forensic evidence.
We are heading for a high of 35 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Winds could gust upwards of 20 miles an hour. Winds calm down this evening as we drop back down to an early low of 28. Temperatures will rise towards sunrise, and we will warm up tomorrow as well as we head for a high of 49, but we'll also have winds blowing about 20, 30 miles an hour. 49 Saturday, evening showers become a light wintry mix. No major accumulations expected, but could lead to some slick spots, so be cautious out there. Then we're below average after that. 32 Sunday, 31 Monday, another chance of a wintry mix Tuesday, and 39. That could last into Wednesday morning, and will be 35. By the way, Sunday night's low, 16 degrees.
What?
Yeah, it's going to get cold out there.
That's not even.
No, I don't like it either. I don't like the winter.
That means we're going to be coming to work, and we'll be here at that low point.
Yep, that's it.
Yuck. Well, if you are married, hopefully you celebrate your spouse every day of the year.
But you see, today offers an opportunity for extra celebration because it's National Spouses Day, observed every year on January 26th. So to mark the day, get on social media. Do not get on social media and tell the world how much you value your spouse. Go spend the day with your spouse.
Yeah.
But if you do post on social media, use the hashtag National Spouses Day.
How about you do both?
You could do that very quickly and then go spend the day with your spouse.
Well, according to nationaldaycalendar.com, National Spouses Day has been observed since the mid-1980s.
Well, I'm going to observe National Spouses Day tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, and the kids will be at school, and we'll have time to go and have breakfast
let her
together.
Know that's happening today.
Oh, no,
tomorrow.
she knows.
Okay.
She knows. She's well aware. I just didn't know it was National Spouses Day, so now that's what it's going to be.
Okay, cool.
Well, thanks so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.